careful what's going on with our teenagers.
Well, I think what struck me about this was we know there's been a problem in London for many years. It really has been quite terrible, the kind of number of incidents actually where teenagers have been injured, but also where they've been murdered. What struck me about this was this happened in Norfolk. I mean, you know, this is it's quite shocking. Yeah,
tourist hotspot. You know,
I mean, and it's. I mean, I'm not saying that we should kind of just think, oh, in London it's just normal behaviour, but it's to see this actually spreading out to other areas of the country, I think is worrying, and it shows that actually the government does need to find a way of dealing with this, and the police need to find a way of dealing with this. But what that is, I don't know. That's the $64 million question, isn't it?
Isn't it? Why do you think teen knife crime seems to be so out of control, Joanna?
I mean, I think you're right. It really does seem to be out of control, and it definitely seems to be extending beyond London. It seems to me as if this is a situation, again, as you say, which has been building for a number of years, and there's probably lots of different factors at play. I mean, I know this predates lockdown, but there's been massive problems, I think, caused by the fact that schools closed. And if you look at the statistics, there's still very, very high rates of truancy of a number of children. And there will be the most disadvantaged children who've not gone back to school. And it just seems to me that one thing that lockdown really crystallises, hasn't caused, but really crystallised, was a kind of lack of adult authority in society for a significant proportion of children, whether it's police or teachers or parents, even sadly as well, particularly fathers. You know, the figures who would have been in authority over children in previous generations are just not got the confidence or the capacity anymore to act in that role. And so I think this is a really serious society-wide problem that we have to really try to get to grips with.
It's so hard, though, isn't it, Sam? Because, yes, it's partly parental responsibility, of course it is. But also, I feel like schools no longer have the discipline that they used to have. Teachers are confused about what they can and can't do. The only people who aren't confused about their rights are the kids.
They're very savvy, you know, kids today, they're very savvy about that kind of thing. And also, you know, really, do we really want to go down the American route where you've got scanners at the doors? I think that would be really depressing. And so it's trying to find a way to deal with it that doesn't just kind of resort to this terrible, you know, assumption that kids are always kind of, you know, on the step of being criminals or about to cause some kind of harm to their classmates. We don't really want to go down that horrible route, do we, of assuming they're all kind of bad. But you also have to find some way of dealing with this issue.
There's something also, I mean, these kids must be very brutalised, because it's not like punching someone in a pub, which is awful, awful, awful. The act of taking a blade and putting it into another person's body is a level of detached violence which is becoming so common. There is something very, very wrong. We have to work out why.